party in the world, with 1.5 million people taking part. On the main day, that's the August bank holiday Monday, Greg Watson travelled in from the London suburbs with his girlfriend, Lisa Morgan.
Everyone loved Greg, everyone. You couldn't help but love him. He's just, you know, he's a great guy.
Greg and Lisa arrived early afternoon, met up with a group of 4 friends and joined in the fun. Watching the procession, dancing to the music, absorbed by the huge crowd drawn from around the world. Eventually, Greg and Lisa and their friends started to think about heading back for home, but no one was in any sort of hurry.
We were just gonna follow a float, and then just make our way home from there. Yeah, just nothing definite. We were just seeing what happened, really. But you know, we knew we couldn't stay too late because you know we still had to get the train back.
And by now it was dark. This is Kensal Road near the Radio 1 soundstage at around 10 o'clock. And these are some of the last floats in the procession. Among the crowd was a gang of at least 5 youths who'd been pestering girls who were passing by. And they grabbed at a 15-year-old in Greg and Lisa's group.
Things just went mad from then. A guy just came up and being like, you know, really rude and mouthy and shouting all kind of obscenities at us. It started to get a bit mouthy, so Greg came over, just tried to calm the situation down.
What follows is one of the very few times a murder has been filmed by the police. The surveillance officer was Andrew Coles.
Yeah, I was up on the balcony here just watching some of the floats going through, and saw some people having an argument roughly down at the junction with East Row. Couldn't really tell what the argument was about, but it was obviously quite heated.
You'll see Greg walking back, trying to defuse the situation.
He just wanted it to stop. You know, we were going home. Just wanted to go home.
And gradually the argument continued, moved over onto the footway, just under the light between the 2 trees.
I mean, I don't actually know what was going through my head at that precise. It was just all just mad. I just couldn't believe it.
And then I saw one of the lads break off, walk round behind the girls, and face the lad who'd been trying to pull the girls away. And then he appeared to just punch him to the stomach.
Yeah, another guy just came from nowhere and just stabbed him.
And then the 5 boys ran off up the road.
Well, he just like staggered back. There were some cars there. And he just said, "Someone get me an ambulance." And then he fell.
Well, this is roughly where we found Greg Watson lying. We had to push our way through the group of people that were around him, and we were joined within a minute by 2 police medics who basically took over from us. The wound didn't look that serious because there was no blood coming out of it, but as we later found out, Greg died in hospital.
There was nothing bad about him. He was just perfect.
Just that smile, you just see him coming around the corner, you could see the smile before you see him, you know, that type of happy-go-lucky person.
Why I'm really torn apart, because he wasn't only my son, he was my closest friend. He's just a brilliant guy, brilliant.
Now, that's not something I've ever seen before, and I have to say, I hope I never ever see it again. Now, Guy Ferguson, you're the officer in charge of this case. This seems to have been a totally unprovoked attack. Now, what about the gang? Do we know where they went next? What happened to them?
Yes, we believe that they went off, and I think you can see on the map, from outside the Radio 1 soundstage at Horniman's Pleasance towards Ladbroke Grove. We're not exactly sure where they went, but they could have gone north or south from there.
And what about the attacker? What can you tell us about him?
Well, he involved himself in an incident which he had, you know, initially nothing to do with, and merely went in and did the attack without any preamble at all. He's in his late teens to early 20s. He's 5'8" to 5'10" tall. The most distinctive thing about him was that he had short black hair that was shaved at the side but longer on the top, perhaps in twists. And he was wearing a black hooded top with dark trousers.
And what about the man who started the argument with Greg? What do you know about him?
Well, he was wearing a green shirt which was open over a black vest. He is considerably lighter skinned than the attacker, but he is the same sort of age, same height, but of slimmer build.
Now, some people might question the decision to show something like this, a murder, on television. And I should add, actually, there are scenes, much more upsetting scenes after the event of Greg that we have decided not to show. But what made you come forward with this footage?
It's a decision we laboured long and hard over, really, and in consultation with Greg's parents. But we decided that it was appropriate to show it because it was such an unprovoked and horrendous attack, in an effort to appeal to people who might have vital information in regard to this, who have been reluctant to come forward. And also, we felt that I'm quite confident that there's somebody out there who knows the identity of Greg's killer and the green shirt man, and I want those people to come forward and tell us that information now for the sake of Greg's family.
OK, well, there's a £10,000 reward. Call here in the studio on our free phone number. That's 0500 600 600. That's on the screen for most of the show. Or call the incident room on 020 7321 7228.